In this video, section 3.4, parabolas. Simply put, the parabola is the graph of a quadratic equation. So, I can take some axes and I can go ahead and I can graph a parabola and it'll look something like this. They are symmetric about a line called the axis of symmetry. They have a vertex, which is a maximum or a minimum, and they have at most 2 roots. Since there is an axis of symmetry, that means that these curves are symmetric. As a quick example, if I take the equation y is equal to x squared, it'll look something like this, with this being both the root and vertex, and the line x equals 0 being the axis of symmetry. So, we're going to have to worry about how we are going to find those curves. Well, let's start with an equation. Say y is equal to x squared plus 2x minus 8. We're going to look for the roots. The roots are when y is equal to 0. So that means we have 0 is equal to x squared plus 2x minus 8. And we're looking for x. We'll put this in the quadratic formula. We'll take the square root, divide by 2 times 1. The result will be minus 2 plus or minus 4 plus 32 divided by 2. This is minus 2 plus or minus the square root of 36 over 2, which is minus 2 plus or minus 6 over 2. So this is 4 halves and negative 8 halves, which reduces down to 2 and negative 4, and those values of x are the roots of this parabola. Next, I want to take a look at the axis of symmetry. The axis of symmetry is in the middle of this parabola. It's a vertical line. I want to take a look at the quadratic formula. Okay, now, let's see here, plus or minus. That means this bit is to the plus, so I've got a line here. I'm going this far with the square root of the determinant when I add, and then I'm going to the left, the square root of the determinant when I subtract. And in the middle right here is the value that I'm looking for, the axis of symmetry. Right between this. Right. X is equal to minus b over 2a. So, for our example, minus 2 over 1. X is equal to a minus 2 over 2, a negative 1. Last, we want the vertex. Vertex is the tip of this guy. It's the minimum since this parabola opens upwards. This is the axis of symmetry. Vertex is a point on it. So our x-coordinate is going to be this, the axis. The y-coordinate, well, we're going to have to find that. So we had y is equal to x squared plus 2x minus 8, and we had x is a negative 1. So we're going to substitute this in, and we'll have y is equal to minus 1 squared plus 2 times minus 1 minus 8. That's 1 minus 2 minus 8. Y is a negative 9. So this vertex is at the point -1, -9. And with this information, we can go ahead and draw a pretty good representation of this graph. We'll just go ahead and we'll draw up some quick horizontal line here. That'll represent the line y is equal to 0, the x-axis. Then we'll go ahead and we'll mark off the roots. So there's one, here's the other. This is 2, 0. This is -4, 0. And then let's see here, halfway between them, we're going to want to draw the axis of symmetry. Nice vertical line there. Nice vertical line. And then this will go ahead and this will be our vertex. This will be the point -1, -9. And now we're ready to go ahead and draw the parabola. Over by the vertex, we want it to be flat, and we want it to be steeper passing through here. So I'm going to start out flat, come up steep, cross the root, and I'm just going to keep getting steeper and steeper and steeper. And then ideally I'm just going to mirror that on the other side. That's a little hard, but you get the hang of it after a while. Another way that you could do it is you could also just draw a parabolic shape. These are my roots, label them, then draw the vertex, label it, and you've got a pretty decent representation of this parabola. Let's take a look at another problem. In 3, 2, 1. Let's take a look at another problem. This time I want to look at the parabola y is equal to -x² plus 2x plus 3. First things first, we're going to find the roots. So x is going to be equal to -2 plus or minus 2 squared minus 4 times a -1 times 3. Take a square root. Divide that by 2 times -1. Can't forget that negative. So this is equal to -2 plus or minus, let's see here, 4 plus 12, -2 square root. We'll just keep simplifying here. So this is -2 plus 4, 2 over 2, -2 minus 4, minus 6 over 2, 1, -3. Those are my roots. Next, axis of symmetry. And remember, we're just looking at this part here. The axis is the line. X is equal to -2 over -2, or 1. Now we need to find the vertex. And remember, our line is y is equal to -x² plus 2x plus 3. And we're going to take this value and plug it in. So this will be -1 squared plus 2 plus 3. So that's 5 minus 1. Y equals 4. So the vertex is at 1, 4. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sketch this really quickly. So I'm just going to go ahead and plot out my points. I've got the roots here. I've got one at here. I'll have one here. So this will represent 3, 0. And this will represent minus 1, 0, and then let's see here, the vertex was at 4. That's above these guys. 4 is like up here. Huh. Well, that's fine. Nothing said that a parabola can't look like this. So just go down. Good. We'll just horizontal and come down. Good. And this is a pretty good representation of the parabola. We can mark off the axis of symmetry. Here's the line y is equal to 0. Over here somewhere is the line x is equal to 0, the x-axis, y-axis. So we've got a pretty good representation of that graph. But the important thing here is, you take a look, this parabola opens downward. Our previous one opened upwards. What was the big difference? Negative x squared. If a, remember this constant here is called a, and if it's greater than 0, then the parabola opens upwards. If a is less than 0, then it opens down. Okay. That's it for section 3.4. Thanks.